My name is Michael Birno. I'm Technical Director at Energi. Energi was created roughly 10 years ago, and the goal at the time was to build the world's first virtual power plant. And a virtual power plant is basically combining energy data and artificial intelligence to decide when we can reschedule the power consumption of assets in a completely transparent way that no one notices, but in a way that's useful to the system operator to put the grid back in balance. As we realized that we were collecting lots of different sources of data from a lot of different places, not necessarily in huge volumes, but in ways that were becoming hard to maintain, hard to process in traditional ways, we turned to different ways of looking at that data, different ways of processing it. And that naturally drove us to the Hadoop ecosystem. At the time, we were all working on Windows, and it was really hard to configure Hadoop and HDFS and Hive on Windows. I mean, it's hard enough on Linux, but it's even harder on Windows. And at the time, Hortonworks were offering the Hortonworks Sandbox, which could run on pretty much any platform. So that was what first brought them to our attention. All the software that we use with Hortonworks, of course, is open source. And that has tremendous value because we know what's going into it. We can extend it if we want. In fact, we've reported several issues, and we know exactly how those issues have been dealt with, which is fantastic. The value that Hortonworks bring on top of that is that they employ contributors to these software. So not only do they have in-depth knowledge of what could go wrong in order to provide support, but they're also able to provide more detailed information as to the roadmaps, and even they're able to influence the roadmaps if enough of their users make requests. So having that inside track, as it were, is really added value for us. One of the things about Hortonworks Data Platform is that it's really easy for anyone to use it. Any new software can be installed really easily with Ambari. Any new streaming process can be explored through Hortonworks Dataflow and Apache NiFi. Therefore, having this ease of use and this ease of exploration combined with Hortonworks' technical expertise makes it really easy for us to try out new things and to see where we might get the most value. For example, the first application we tried was a data warehousing type solution in order to replace our existing SQL Server-based data warehouse. And that kind of project, which was done quickly and efficiently, is what makes this partnership so valuable. Up until now, the clients have been completely unable to measure how changes to operational processes impact energy usage, and that's one of the fundamental questions that they have. Now, we're able to not only prove that the tens of millions of switches we do every year have no visible impact on energy or operational variables, but on top of that, we're able to inform our clients as to how they can optimize operational conditions to minimize energy use. And we're able to do that because we have all the data in one data lake in one place where it can be analyzed.